Hey, Shadowed One. Um, I know it's 2 months, but I did promise you I'd get back to you. So, although you probably don't care, I'm still gonna get back to you. So the first thing you said was that my arguments were vague, which I agree they were vague, but they were vague with a purpose. My thought behind that was is I didn't want to seem like I was attacking anyone's life individually. I was more confronting an overall issue. Um, Believe it or not, coming from me, I I didn't want to strike any nerves. Um, so moving on to that, I want you to realize that I was talking about overall, like overall um, habitual marijuana use. I wasn't talking about the production of hemp. I wasn't really talking about um, so much, you know, world commerce and things such as that. I'm talking about habitual pot use, habitual marijuana use. So, along with that, the first thing you said was you confronted my argument that marijuana supports drug cartels because you said that prescription drugs and over-the-counter drugs support drug use, um, which I think is different because because I think what you're getting at is cold medicine is used in the production of methamphetamine, but last time I checked, Dimetap wasn't you know funding drug cartels, and I guess if I were to agree with you on that statement, I would have to say that I have to live by the standards of I can't get vaccinated because junkies use needles, or to blow it out of proportion, I can't breathe oxygen because junkies use oxygen to create the flame they use to cook up their fix. So I don't really see how that really goes against my argument. Um, you did say I did contradict a bit, and I don't really understand how I did contradict, but I'm probably going to assume that I did contradict in some way because I'm not the most fluid speaker and I tend to get ahead of myself. Um, and then moving on to you started talking about um, brain damage and how um, where I got my information. Well, if first of all, you said that I said extreme brain damage. I don't remember ever saying extreme brain damage. Maybe I should have checked my video. I believe I said significant brain damage, which is different in my mind, but that's more of a battle of semantics. The if you check any medical journal, they will have tons of information about the effects of a brain with habitual marijuana use over a prolonged period of time, and it will tell you it will cause significant brain damage. And the thing about that is yes, it will slow down. It will stop once they stop. Well, that's exactly the point. I don't is I'm against habitual pot use. Um, but if anyone tells you, that it can be reversed, that's not true, um, because it is brain cells in your brain that are the hardest to regenerate, and they don't regenerate quickly. And maybe if we still live to be 200, 300 years old, pre-flood era, that would be okay. But the simple fact is, we don't live that long for to get the brain cells back. So we have to be careful with the ones we have. um, and like I said, I'm not against um, medicinal marijuana exactly. Yeah. As far as people treating it for pain, I empathize with them. I live in pain every day, and sometimes a joint would seem really great, take the edge off. But that's really not my issue. As far as medical research for marijuana as a whole, I support it. I mean, anything that is natural that can help people. I want to see that. If there's a true benefit to pot use in the medical world, I want to, I want it. I want it for people, not only for myself, but for everyone. Stepping to what I think really spurred this video response back was you disagree with my comment about the reason I don't support habitual pot use is I don't see anyone who uses marijuana habitually to live a life worth following, and I still stand by that. And I know that you know where I got that line from, and I know, you've heard it. But I want you to take your feelings away from where I got it from, and really just look at the principle behind that, because it's a very solid, excuse me, principle. It's because Jesus himself says that defilement comes from within. So what it's really saying is that your heart comes through your actions. And Jesus himself said, I've come to give life, and life to the full. And it's not that I don't see, caring people who use marijuana habitually. It's not that I don't see people who aren't generous and loving. I'm not saying that they're not nice people. I'm saying that the product of their life is something that I don't want. And I'm not just talking about, the potheads we know in high school and the potheads that live around our city. I'm talking about, everyone I've seen. Because I met, I met 35-year-old college professors who have 3 kids and 2 cars and, very smart and intelligent people that smoke marijuana to feel, because they're devoid of emotion. And I think that's horribly sad. I work very closely with a kid who thinks he can't have a spiritual conversation without the aid of pot. What I'm seeing is these people habitually use pot to get a feeling, to get an environment, to feel, and I don't think that's right. I think that if we could just move past our problems and be real with each other, we wouldn't need marijuana. And I don't see how it being a use of relief as a hobby, as a stress relief. I don't see that as an overall good. I see that as a cop out. I see that as not the best. It's not necessarily a horrible thing, but it's not the best. And that's what I'm talking about, is life to the full. I see a lot of people that support marijuana to have this utopian ideology of yes, I think if marijuana could have an overall benefit for the world, I would support it, but I don't think it can in the society which we live in. Society would have to drastically change. Governments would have to change. The structures of social structures, economic structures would have to change. I don't think that can happen. And I think if we were to legalize marijuana and have it where it's accessible to everyone to habitually use, just like tobacco, I would see that as detrimental. I would see more injustice come from that. I think I would see more heartbreak. I would see more suffering. And that's what I'm really getting at, is not that people who smoke pot are necessarily bad people. I think it's just not the best. And that's what I want to see in the world is the best. I want to see people achieve their true potentials. I want to see change in this world, and I don't think the best change can happen from habitual marijuana use. That's what I'm getting at. It's not to condemn. It's only to point out. I'm only calling it as I see it. As any opinion is only subjective. And know that, I'm not coming down on you. I'm not coming down on anyone you know or anyone you care about. I'm not out to condemn. I'm only out to kind of confront an issue and look at it from a different perspective. And I'm open to any perspective. So know that I have much love for you, my friend, and I hope to talk to you soon, because we do need to talk. I miss you. Alright, man. Bye.